Huh?
Hey, y'all. Hey. I am coming live. The minute I start going live, there's like a weird whistling sound outside. I'm coming live to you from Johannesburg, South Africa, with my special guest, Janice. Janice is
Hi.
here. My hands are ashy. You're watching me an hour later than normal because the time didn't change on this part of the world. So, whatever y'all got going on in the US, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know. Listen, these ladies walked into my apartment uh, 10 minutes ago when I said something about a time change, and everybody was like, the time changed? When you're in another part of the world,
You don't know these things.
I don't know these things. What happens over there? I don't know. But very glad you guys are here with us. I see some familiar faces, including Miss Stephanie Perry, Kay Stewart, Brittany Joy, Comfort, SLS Forever, Not Before 10. Hey y'all, I am here. I'm live. I'm with Janice. And with Janice today, we're going to talk about solo traveling. We're going to talk about how to do it, why to do it, how Janice is experiencing it, how easy it is to go from I don't think I can solo travel to
I got this.
not only I got this, but I think I live abroad now.
I think I do.
I
Kind of,
think I live
sort of.
abroad now. All right, Janice,
Okay.
how would you feel about taking off your glasses?
Are my glasses reflecting?
It's
I
to
can
reflect a
see.
little bit. No, you don't
Okay.
have to.
No, I can. I can.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta mute myself 1 second. You can't just let anybody up in your apartment, up in your Airbnb, because they in here. They wait till you get on camera to be asking questions that you don't want to. Any hoodle. Very happy to have you with us. And Janice is going to talk about her solo travel experience.
Okay, you know this is gonna have to be questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Y'all see how she just told me to do my job? Y'all, you see how she was just like, "This is what I need from you." I mean, that's what I want from my
This
guests. I
is how
want you to
this is
tell me
gonna
what
go.
you need. But this is
I need
exactly
questions.
this is
to
exactly
answer.
how it's gonna go. Okay, so if you guys have questions about solo traveling, drop them in the comments. If you've ever been nervous to do it, but you're on the fence about it, any of that stuff, drop them in the comments. Hey to everybody here. Hey to everybody watching on the replay. If you are concerned about solo traveling, we have some answers for you. So, Janice,
Yes.
what is the very first time you took a solo trip?
Uh, well, I took a solo trip to Puerto Vallarta, and friends and family just came. So it wasn't quite solo. So the
Okay.
first solo trip was when I came to Mexico last June.
When you came to Mexico City, or did you go to
Mexico
North?
City.
Okay.
Mexico City
All
in
right.
June.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, that was my very first. I told you that. You don't remember.
I don't
But
remember anything. You know.
that was my very first solo trip,
Okay.
all by myself.
I'm gonna say this. I took a solo trip once, and my boyfriend at the time, my ex, popped up, ruined the whole thing. We fought the entire time. Ruined the whole. I'm in Bogota trying to have a good time, and here he come, Debbie Downer,
Crashing your party.
crashing. What are you doing here?
Okay.
Friends
Well,
and families just
I didn't have that
part.
Well, that's what happened when. But I was happy to see them. That's what happened. First, my besties came. Then my my daughters came. So it was great.
Okay.
That was when I was in Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
But this time in Mexico, just June last year, was my first.
Okay.
Solo trip.
Okay. All right. If you hear noise in the background, that's someone who refused to be on camera visually. But she over there grinding pepper and doing all kinds of things. I guess she wants to make the sounds, but she does not want to be seen. So if you hear anything, that's what's going on in the background. She's still asking me about the Wi-Fi. Let me get this for her real quick. All right, so you took your first solo trip. Before you took your first solo trip, what were the things that you were concerned about?
The biggest fear was like, what do you do when you don't have somebody with you? Like, how do you do this? Because I'm so used to traveling with people. I've always traveled with people, best friends, husband, whatever. So it was just like, how do you, when you see something and you want to be like, oh, look, there's nobody there. The loneliness.
Okay, the
part of
loneliness,
it.
the loneliness
Yes.
part of it is a very, very good part.
So
Okay, so when you were somewhere and you saw something that you wanted to share with someone and there was no one you knew, what did you do?
I took a picture of it.
Did you send the picture to people?
Not immediately, but I
Okay.
just took a picture of it.
Okay.
Took a picture. At first, it felt weird, but now it doesn't. Like,
Okay, so your first solo trip was in June
right.
of 2023.
Correct.
And what have you taken more solo trips since then?
Well, yes. Then I went to Ecuador, my second solo trip, and now this one to South Africa.
Okay, so you took one solo trip, realized you weren't about to die, and then kept taking some more?
Well, I knew I was going to take more. I was just going to have all these issues and just figure it out.
Did you have all the issues?
Yeah, I had all the issues.
Okay.
I had all the issues,
and I just
figured it out and made it work. And I'll say that I'm still new to this, but I still like traveling with certain people better. But I'm definitely good with the solo travel now.
Who are the people you like traveling with?
My girlfriends, my cousins, my relatives.
Okay.
There's a couple of them that I can, just you can't travel with everybody. So there's a couple people that I really travel well with, and I do like traveling with them better than traveling solo. But they can't travel with me, so
okay,
I'm good.
Okay, so
out here in
traveling
these international streets, so it's bubbles.
Yeah, you did this, and it was like, that looks like a thumbs up. It looks like she wants to have a thumbs up in her face. I'm gonna turn this off one day. I only think about it when it's live. This is happening. It's lightning outside, y'all, right now, and it hailed earlier, and it's interesting weather. It's hot all day, hot.
Very.
And then the minute we got inside, it was like, here's a hailstorm for you. Okay, so besides, let's start here. What are some other ways that you have combated the loneliness?
Facebook groups. Meet them before you go, so you know people, and then when you get there, you meet them on the ground, and that has been my saving grace. The Facebook groups, the people in the Facebook groups.
I'm gonna speak to the camera real quick.
Okay,
I'm gonna speak to them. Janice don't really know what solo means, because she'd be in a city for 2 days and knows 17 people. She got all their phone numbers. She'd been to their houses. They're running around, and they're all going to dinner today. Do you want to go?
Ooh, sorry.
That's her.
Yes. So, because I need people in my life, I have to, I'm not like a solo type of person. They don't have to be people, just acquaintances that you could go out to dinner with, or shopping, or tell you where things are. Because I don't have to do everything with people. I can do things solo. But it's nice to, somebody tell you where to go, good places to go.
But you found ways to not be solo. You found ways to not be solo while traveling solo.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, the Facebook groups. It is a great resource. Get in them, meet somebody where you're going. And when you get there, you tell them that you're coming. They'll know when you're coming. When you get there, reach out. And I found that they've been excellent. Jewel in Ecuador, wonderful.
Jewel Wren
in Ecuador.
And what's the name of that group?
African Americans in Ecuador, Part 2, I think is the name of it.
Okay.
And then she hooked me up with the rest of the group. I had some expats living in the building that I was staying in. They lived upstairs. They connected. Great. Here in African Americans in South Africa, Greg, I hooked up with him, and he's introduced me to other people here. So just find you somebody in the Facebook groups.
Okay, so first thing is Facebook groups. Find people in Facebook groups. Are there other things you've used to combat the loneliness?
No, that's been pretty much it. That's been enough to come. Because I like I said, I will do things by myself. I have no problem with that. It's just you want to know somebody's around, like that knows that you're here. And
okay.
So
one thing I would recommend for people, if Facebook groups don't work for you, is to go, if you're alone, like go to places where other people might not want to be alone as well, like bars, or for a restaurant, eat at the bar. Someone's gonna talk to you. Now, you may not want them to. If you're like, you may not want them to. She used to be like, and then this is my best friend, Joey. And tomorrow, Joey and I are going to take a tour. Meanwhile, I'd be like, Joey, I'm trying to read my book. But, if you're feeling the loneliness, which I will tell you, when I was planning my year sabbatical around the world, traveling around the world, my therapist at the time was like, you need a plan for the loneliness because you're going to get lonely. She was like, that was the only thing she was concerned about for me traveling for a year. She was like, at some point you're going to get lonely and you need to have a plan for what you do when you're lonely. And she was right. Loneliness happens, but loneliness isn't a reason not to go. Loneliness is like something that you can you can work your way around. Sometimes for me, loneliness happens when I'm in a country where it feels very, very foreign. If I feel like an outsider, especially if like people don't look like me, they don't speak the language, but I speak fluently, all of those things, it's easier for me to feel alone. And at that point, like I said, going to the hotel of like an American, the bar of like an American hotel, like if I find a Marriott bar, I'm gonna hear people speaking English, and just hearing them speaking English will be enough for me to get over the loneliness. Sometimes I do join Facebook groups, and I will say, hey, I'm visiting, is anybody here? Does anybody want to do? A good thing to do, I don't know how you handle it in Facebook groups, but a good thing to do is to say like, I'm going to this museum tomorrow. Does anyone, as opposed to like, I'm here, what's going on? Because sometimes that works, and then sometimes in some cities someone's asking that question every day, and so the answers aren't that good after a while.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So far, and again, I'm new to this. It just seems like if I start, hey, I'm going to be visiting such and such, is anything going to be going on or whatever, and then people just respond.
Yes.
But I did do Doha by myself.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't.
Before we get there, Stephanie Perry had a comment. Denise is missing a Facebook group. Is there a Facebook group you forgot to mention?
Exodus Summit.
What's it called?
Exodus Summit. Are you kidding?
Exodus who?
Exodus Summit with Rashida and Stephanie. Are you kidding? That's where I get all my information. That's why I know they have the Schwab card and the Fidelity card.
Listen.
I know all the things.
All the things.
Because of most importantly.
Okay. So another thing that like a Facebook group is good for, if you're traveling solo, is to find like an Exodus Summit Facebook group, which you can find at exodussummit.com/community. One of the good things about it is you can find other people who are traveling solo in the same place around the same time. Denise,
what?
You've been in the streets. She hasn't been alone a minute. This woman has not been alone a minute.
Well, okay. That's because the Exodus Summit group during the meetup, people just been bopping in and out, coming through. So yes, there's still a couple of us left here. So I have spent the majority of my time with Exodus Summit people, and that was wonderful.
And
I met a lot of them.
Even if there wasn't a meetup, it's a good place to see like where people are, what their recommendations are, etc. Now, solo traveling, are there some cities that have been harder for you to solo travel in than others?
Well, only ones I've done so far was Mexico City, Ecuador. Then I went to Doha on the layover for 4 days. That I did completely by myself, and I was fine with it. And then South Africa.
Okay.
So that's yet to be seen.
Okay.
I don't know yet. But I don't think it's going to be, because I have gotten to a point. I'm feeling better about solo traveling. I'm not as needy. I started out needy.
Did you?
In Mexico, I was needy.
Okay.
You said we're gonna have a meetup for you. I was like, I need to know somebody, and everybody was so welcoming and so good. But I was really needy then. I'm getting better, y'all.
And it's not getting better over the course of like, I'm doing it for 10 years. I'm finally getting comfortable. It's like
3 trips.
Right, 3 trips. Maybe like 8 months.
Yeah, but after Ecuador, because Ecuador they were really a supportive, welcoming group, really. So after Ecuador, I felt like, okay, I'm good.
Okay. Aha Zuda says, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Good morning, everyone. I'm back in NYC and can't wait to hit the streets again. I miss the Cape Town meetup ladies. I have no idea who you are. Your username and your real name are just I can't figure out who you are based on your username. But we're gonna think about it. We're gonna think about it. I miss the Cape Town meetup ladies. We had so much fun. So much fun. Okay. So what are I have some tips for how people can get comfortable solo traveling, or like if it's your first time, you don't know. Um, but is there anything you can think off the top of your head that you were like, you want someone to think about or know when they're solo traveling?
Maybe research where you're going a little bit, for sure. Follow your instinct and your gut. You know, if something's saying don't go down that street, don't go down that street. Um, one of the things I do, I mean, I have a medical situation, so I have a medical bracelet which has contact information on it. So if something happened to me, they have that thing that you put on your phone and you can, somebody can get information. But make sure there's some way for if something was to happen and you pass out somewhere, somebody can get in touch with somebody. Of course, have some kind of medical insurance. Right now, that's all I can think of right now. But mainly just follow your gut. Like, if it seems like something is weird, especially with people, when you're meeting people and they're like, and don't tell people that you're by yourself.
Now, for some reason, Uber drivers, taxi drivers, they always want to know. You here alone? You meeting someone? You're not going to get my kidney. Absolutely not. Mind your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but other than that, I feel like most people that you meet will be friendly with like good intentions. But you got to trust your gut, like Janice said. I think one good thing to know before you start traveling is how much companionship you actually want to have. Like if you're like Janice and you like the peoples, you definitely should make a plan ahead of time about how you're going to make friends. And I've made friends on like group tours. You did the other day too. You went on a bus and made a friend, and then they had dinner together. Like that kind of thing is not hard to do. It's very easy to not make a friend on a tour if you don't feel like being bothered with people. But if you want to be open and meet new people, it's very easy. I've done that before, and got tickets, free tickets. I have an extra ticket. Do you want to go? Sure. That kind of stuff. So think about how much companionship you might need and then find a way to fill those gaps. If you're traveling long term, if your plan is like, I took a year sabbatical. If your plan is to do something like that, the loneliness quotient's a little bit different. You might want to consider, now some of your friends along the way are going to say, I want to go blah, blah, blah. When that was happening with me, I was like, all right, in October, let's meet here. So I would have a time of like by myself, and then I would meet a friend, and that would fill, listen, especially if y'all staying together, that fills my people quotient. I got another good like 6 weeks in me before I want to spend that much time with somebody else. So think about what you're like. If you're an introvert, you may not need to join all the Facebook groups to meet all the people. If you're an extrovert,
yes, but go ahead. I mean, they're there. I don't necessarily have to,
No, they're there. They're there for that reason.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Katrina says, I fake talk to someone on the phone while my Uber, so if a driver thinks someone is waiting for you on the drop off. My security is always at the forefront of my mind. Yes. But that's not to say that you should be scared when you're traveling, because most people will encounter less crime when traveling than at home, especially Americans. Less crime while traveling than at home. But, keep your wits about you. Keep your wits about
just, be aware.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go giving out any unnecessary information. And trust your gut, because that will lead you.
One of the things I like to consider, here she come. Hey everyone, extrovert here. It's Abba. Of course she's an extrovert.
Hey Abba. We met at the summit, at the meetup.
Yes. Serious extrovert. She got to have a friend. Who are you with now, Abba? Who are you with now? I have questions.
Where in the world is Abba?
Last time I heard from her, she was in Vietnam. I don't know where she is now.
Okay.
All right. So another thing to consider when you are traveling solo is like how to make, especially if you're nervous about it, how to make it as easy as possible for yourself. So I like to think about the ways travel can feel difficult, and if I'm nervous about a trip, or if I'm feeling nervous about going off by myself, which even traveling now, sometimes I'm like, whoo, I'm doing something myself. So like in the spring, I'm going to, I don't remember how many European cities, but I'm spending 6 months just bopping around Europe.
Okay.
4 days here, 5 days there, 2 days there. It's not how I would tell you to travel, but I'm just doing it, right? And so for some of that, it's like that's a lot of time to be moving by myself and to be packing up and going to a new city. There's a lot of like wear and tear on your luggage, your body, your mind when you're moving like that. And so my brain, I'm like, how can I make it easier for myself? One of the ways I do that is I'm spending time in countries where I'm fluent in the language. Right?
Oh, okay.
So like I'm spending a lot of times in English speaking countries. Although I was warned that when I go to Wales, they're gonna be speaking English, but it's not gonna sound like English. It's gonna sound like something else. It will be English. I just won't hear it as English.
Kind of like here sometimes.
I'm like, is that? Oh no, that
Like
was
what
English.
you say?
Oh no, my bad. And so I think that that's one way to get more comfortable traveling alone. Try going to places where you are very, very fluent. Like it's second nature to you, right? You know the language. And that's not to say that, especially because I'm speaking to mostly English speaking audience, this isn't me saying that like, oh, you should only go to English speaking countries. This is me saying that if you're scared to solo travel, you should be thinking about ways that you can make it easier, right? Like if the idea of the money exchange and knowing how much things really cost bothers you is like part of the reason that you're nervous. You think you're going to not be charged. The math isn't going to happen in your head at the right time. Go to a country where they use American dollars. If you use American dollars, Ecuador, Panama, Zimbabwe, all places where they use American dollars, right? Zimbabwe, everyone we spoke to spoke English. They used American dollars.
Well, you ain't gonna get English in Ecuador.
You'll get it in Panama, right?
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Well, from what I hear, you
Yes.
get some English in Panama, but you need to bring your Spanish app.
Yes.
Or either your Spanish to Ecuador.
Hey Dina, it's been a while since I've seen you. All right. Abba is with Anita and Candace in Da Nang, Vietnam.
I'm going there.
When are you going?
In the fall, I'm doing a whole Southeast Asia situation. Like, I think I'm going to leave in October, November, December, January, probably. So I'm going to do.
Did that sound like an invitation to y'all?
Anybody want to come? I'm telling people, come out.
No, I'm sitting right here.
Okay.
Listen. Actually looking at the camera saying, anybody want it? But she's not talking to me.
I'm going to go to Bali for a minute. Thailand, Bangkok for a minute. I want to go to Chiang Mai. I've never been to I've been to Bangkok. I've never been to Chiang Mai. I've never been to Phuket. I want to go to Vietnam and do that whole. I need to buy Sandra's. What you call her thing? Her thing for
her guide.
Her travel guide for Vietnam, because I got to map out my Vietnam adventures, and Malaysia, Singapore. And probably a hot minute in Japan.
Leslyn says that does not sound like an invitation. Or if it does sound like an invitation. No, Leslyn, you're wrong. I read that wrong, but you're wrong. That did not sound like an invitation.
We see the playing with y'all.
It was an invitation to y'all, but then I had to elbow my way in. All right, so another trick I like, and I've seen you do for taking solo trips, is to book group travel, right? Like I have taken a number of like trips in like a group,
right,
with people. I don't know anybody here.
Okay, so that wasn't I have done book group travel, but I knew people that came with me.
But I do think that's an easier way.
It is.
That's an easier way to do solo travel.
But that costs more.
What is money?
A thing.
No, we don't believe that here. Money
Some
and
of us
time
do.
are not real.
For Rashida. For
Money and
me,
time are not
time I
real.
got plenty of.
Money and time are
Money,
not real.
I'm frugal. So, you could do for your own. Just saying.
No, I mean you can,
Mhm.
but if you're nervous, we're talking to people
If
who
you're
are nervous
if you're nervous,
and
yes,
want to start
especially
traveling
coming
solo.
to Africa, because I was nervous. This is before I even thought about group travel. I mean, solo travel. I was nervous to just come to Africa. Period. I don't know why. What is that all about? People coming to.
People don't
They don't
tell
make
you
it
great.
easy
They don't make it easy,
to come
and
to
people
Africa.
don't tell you great stories about coming to Africa, or like coming to any of the countries. It sounds like a lot of time the way African travel is described as like work, right?
Right.
It's
And
Europe, you can just hop up and go to a beach and it's fine, but here you gotta sit in the traffic and the people selling and the people begging. Like that's how the stories are presented.
And it's hard to book. It's harder to book African travel for some reason. Because I was a travel agent until I decided I didn't really want to work too much anymore. And it wasn't easy to book an African trip.
They don't make like the ways countries are connected is annoying, right? Another way to make yourself, we're going to get back to group travel in a minute, but another way to make it easier is to book the easiest possible travel. Or when you're, okay, so what I'm not saying is like, these need to be your solo travel styles. I'm saying these are ways to get your foot wet, dip your toe in the pond and see if you like it, right? Like Europe, if you've never traveled by yourself before, traveling from one country to another in Europe, especially when you're still in the Schengen zone and you don't have to cross the border, right? You don't have to do immigration stuff. It's typically easier than going from one country to another in Africa.
That's true.
So if you're right,
you can just go take the train.
You're in another country.
It's just like going from state to state,
or easier, city to city in the same state. It's
easy. Yes.
It's so easy, and so booking the travel for your first solo trips, booking the travel that is easy, right? Even if it's not like your dream adventure, booking the stuff that's easy often is just a way to do the solo travel and see whether it's something you enjoy or not, right? When I was coming back, I was in Mauritius last week.
She bougie.
I was in Mauritius last week, and coming back from Mauritius, coming to South Africa, the lady was like, "Well, when are you leaving South Africa?" And I could hear a woman at the other counter asking someone, though, like, South Africa doesn't let you come unless you have like a forward ticket. And when are you leaving? Blah 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 blah. She needed to see the ticket.
Really?
Yes, but I've been back to South Africa, back and forth. I flew here from Zimbabwe, I flew here from the US.
Right.
No one has ever asked that before. It's because of the country I was coming from.
Okay.
I asked the question.
Just a sidebar question real quick. Some countries you can't go to and your time reset for Africa. Is Mauritius one of them?
I don't know how much. I think she reset me for South Africa. I don't know. I didn't check it.
Because there's some countries that won't qualify.
Give me my purse. I'll tell you in a minute. Who's in Singapore? She's now in Singapore. Sandra's in Singapore?
I think so.
Okay.
Sandra's in Singapore. Yeah, she's in Singapore.
We are in Johannesburg. I'm going to tell you my things. Keep talking to people. Tell your story. Say something.
What story am I telling?
I don't know, girl. You said you want to ask questions.
So the expats here live in beautiful houses. I will say that.
Okay.
And I went to a movie night at some expats' house. Beautiful. So I think I'm moving here next year after all my planned scouting.
By yourself?
Am I moving by myself?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All by me lonesome. Because I'm not afraid anymore.
You came by yourself
This trip, this is my second time to South Africa.
You did a solo trip, and now you think you can just live by yourself?
I think
in another country.
The nerve in me, right?
The nerve.
Yes, I think I can do it. I know I can. I know I can.
It did not reset. I have the same amount of days as I had when I entered from.
Okay, yeah, expat told me that.
I didn't realize that.
There's certain countries that you go to that don't count as reset countries.
I thought, since the last time I looked, when I was coming back from Zimbabwe, I saw that they gave me 90 days. Mm-hmm. I assumed I'm not staying, I'm only staying for like 4 days, so it doesn't really matter. I assumed they gave me 90 days again, but they did not. They gave me the exact same date I had.
Okay, so Mauritius is one of those places. Yeah. It's good to know.
Yeah, that was quite a sidebar, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. We are talking about solo travel.
We are.
What is the best thing you have received from the universe while solo traveling?
A confidence to just be alone. I wouldn't even go to a restaurant at home by myself. Now I go to a restaurant by myself, think nothing of it. It's just a new freedom to just do things alone. I don't know how to put it other than that. Just a new freedom.
All right. I think that's a great point, but I also think it's a great segue into another way to making travel easier for you. Mm-hmm. Start doing things alone, right? If there's something you like to do, listen, I like to eat. Go to a restaurant by yourself. If you can eat alone at home, you can eat now.
When I left, when I came to Mexico, I couldn't eat alone at home.
But if you had practiced that at home, if you had tried,
it would have probably been less anxiety.
You might have less anxiety about traveling alone. Like if you try to do those things, if you go to a museum by yourself, if you try to do a couple things at home alone, and it makes it easier. And I know some people worry about like the traveling part. I've talked to people who are like, oh, well, the airport. And I'm like, if you can travel in a group, unless your airport experience is you hand your passport to someone and they take care of everything up front, and then they hand it back from you when you're going. Unless that's your airport experience, if you've been through an airport before, you can get through it by yourself, right? If you've talked to the lady at the counter, you'll be fine. All right, so we're going to talk to Anita real quick. She asked, what's a reset country? This was a total sidebar. It was not about solo traveling. Janice out here making me look stuff up. But in a lot of countries, you're allowed a certain amount of days to be in the country. For America, if you're traveling on an American passport, for South Africa, it's 90 days. 90 days, right?
For South Africa.
Yes, for South Africa, it's 90 days. When I went to Mauritius, so I came in from Zimbabwe last 2 weeks ago. That sounds right. I came in from Zimbabwe. They gave me 90 days on my passport for Zimbabwe. Now, I'd been here before, and I guess going to Zimbabwe, I came, they gave me 90 days. Keep talking, because I may not have been reset in Zimbabwe.
I know, I was going to say, I didn't know if that was a reset country as well. That might not be.
Keep talking. Nope.
Not a reset country.
Nope.
Yeah, so there's certain countries that you can, when your visa is up, you can leave and go to another country, and then you can come back and get another 90 days. There's certain countries outside of South Africa that are really close. I'm not sure it's all the countries that there are, but if you go there and come back, you're not getting a whole nother 90 days. Mm-hmm. You're going to continue where you left off.
I forgot when I came in. I came in on February 7th, and I had a visa that was good until May 7th. And I went to Zimbabwe, and when I came back from Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Botswana, when I came back, I got a visa that was good until May 7th.
So Zimbabwe doesn't count?
And then when I came back from Mauritius, I got a visa that was good until May 7th.
Okay, Mauritius doesn't count. I don't think Zambia counts. And I don't know how many countries there are, but when you leave the country and go to another country, when you come back, you don't start all over.
So in some places, they would just give you more time. But in some countries, it doesn't matter where you go to. If you leave, you come back, they give you the same. If you get a 90-day visa, they give you back the same 90-day visa. But in some places like this, they want to avoid you doing a border run, right? You got 90 days, you leave for a couple of days, you come back, you get a whole 90 days. You can pretty much live here without doing the proper paperwork to live here. I guess they're not playing that. No. I knew I was never going to be here for 90 days, so I have not been checking. But you should really check how long your visa allows you to be in a country
wherever you go.
Wherever you go,
because you don't want to overstay.
No. All right, so let's talk about. I'm gonna ask a question real quick. The person who's in the video but not on camera, do you have any solo travel tips?
Because she's the one that really needs to be over here.
That's not true.
She out here living in the world, y'all.
No, I think the research part is definitely important. I think you have to decide, what your comfort level is. I know when I'm looking for an Airbnb, sometimes I want to be in a guest house that's close to, the owners.
Okay, start over from the top.
So a big part of my solo travel is my accommodations. And sometimes I want to be, to myself. So I'll get, a traditional apartment condo situation. And other times I want to be close to somebody who's from the area so that I can get recommendations. So a guest house situation, I have preferred that in certain situations. So yeah, I would say, just figure out what your comfort level is. Be true to what you're going to be comfortable with, because you don't want to overestimate what you can do and then have a bad experience and then say solo travel isn't for me, when you really didn't really consider all your options, right? Some people want to be in a hostel so that they can be around other people, other like-minded people. And that can definitely make your travel a lot more fun, easy, safe. And just research. I think it's important to utilize these groups that are out here. I don't do that. I'm really bad at that. As much as you all say that I'm a social butterfly and I'm an extrovert, I don't reach out to people in places, and I think that is something that I probably should do a better job at. But yeah, utilize the resources that are out there to make, whatever you think you are uncomfortable with, do the research so that you can get comfortable. Because solo travel does not have to be bad. It doesn't have to be scary. And yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so Miss I Can't Be on Camera actually brought up a good point, and that was she brought up accommodations. And I think accommodations are a great way to be alone but not be alone. So she brought up hostels. If you want to be around a lot of people but you're solo traveling, that's a good way to stay. And even if you don't need the energy of people all the time, look how beautiful the sunset is. Squirrel.
Wow.
It's pink outside. It's really pretty. Even if you don't think you need the energy of people all the time, maybe you stay in a hostel. If you're traveling for 3 months, once a month, you stay for a couple of days, right? Or once every other week, just to get that people energy. If hostels aren't for you, I know some people, I don't know if enjoy is the word I want to use. Some people use the Airbnb option of a room in a home, and that would give you companionship, other people around, if that's what you need. As for me and my suitcase, nah.
What y'all need?
No, we do not.
What y'all need?
We do not need to be in anybody else's home while they're in their home too.
So I tried that, right? In Mexico. When I went to Mexico. Yeah, when I went to Mexico, I got a room thinking I was going to be with the family because I guess I didn't read the reviews enough. But it was a room, and it had like a little kitchenette in the room. But the family, like you come in the family's house, and the first door is your room, and then their room is, I didn't interact with the family, put it that way. It's like you just rented this room out here. So I was like, okay, so I don't have my family.
They said, baby, it's a room. You did not get,
yes,
you did not rent friends.
I thought it was going to be a room. It is
Uh-huh.
a room in their house,
Uh-huh.
but they have a separate. I don't know if they
Uh-huh.
put it there or whatever, but they have a separate door. And I was like, all righty then. Mexico City community, I need you.
So I
And y'all came through.
Yes. I accidentally rented a room in a house once. It was one. So my search criteria got messed up while I was searching. I ended up renting a room in a house. And I didn't know it. I thought I was renting solo. And I showed up here and she was like, here's your room. And I was like, why's all the stuff here? And she was like, because I live here. And then she had the nerve, the host had the audacity. Y'all will not believe this.
What'd she do?
Chad. She had the audacity to allow her husband to come home after work. Why is there a man in my apartment?
What? Not her husband. The nerve of her.
The
Rashida.
nerve.
The nerve of her.
The nerve.
To have a
I
husband.
checked it and it was her, and I was like, I guess it'd be fine. All of a sudden, there's a man's voice.
Hilarious.
Who are you? Oh, you pay the rent here? That's not. I thought I was signing in for a place alone, and there's a man's voice in the hallway. Who is this stranger? Oh, he lived here. No.
Did you stay?
It was like 4 days, so I stayed.
Okay, you stayed.
But no. The audacity. You let that man come home
Of her to have a husband.
to the place where he pays bills.
So yeah, we had the opposite experience. I was out. You stay out there and enjoy your room with all the, it was a nice sized room, and it was cool, but I just thought I was going to interact with the family.
All right, Teresa's talking about her experience being solo in Cape Town after, I'm guessing this is after the meetup. Hey, Teresa. I ate at Mama Africa alone, cable car to Table Mountain, shopped along Long Street, waterfront, and a private tour to Langer Township. Just a tour guide of myself, who I did that all alone. Yes. Adding some solo time on the front end or back end of a group experience is a lovely way to get the best of both worlds. Like, okay, so even if solo travel feels kind of scary, I think the benefit that you get from it, that you don't always get in your real life, is you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yes.
You want to stay in bed till 4? Who gonna check you, boo? No, there's nobody. It's you, right? You want to eat last night's leftover pizza for breakfast? Okay. Who? Right? You want to stay inside because you're tired? No one. Y'all know you have those friends. And some of you may be those friends. It's cool. We just can't travel together. Those friends who are like, we've bought our tickets. And now, here, let me show you our agenda. We shall wake up at 5 a.m. to go on a tour that starts. They're picking us up at 5:30. And then we're going to do this on repeat for 6 days. Nah. If that's who you are, you can do that by yourself. And if you're traveling alone, that's not who you are. You don't have to do that. There's no one being like, I definitely canceled a vacation once. My friend was like, here's what our calendar looks like. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Something came up. I shall. I saw it and I was like, because there was no discussion of what do you want to do when we're there.
Okay.
It was literally just, here's what we're doing.
But that's the good thing, traveling, like you said, solo.
Yes.
Because even though, I've been hanging with people from the group, you're not compelled to do anything. Like I can say I want to do this tomorrow, and then in the morning I text you, I just don't feel like it. And I don't feel bad. I don't feel, you go, because we are traveling solo. We just happen to have our paths crossing. It's a difference.
I can't.
So.
Up at 5 a.m. to get on a tour and pick.
Y'all didn't discuss that? She just made it. Because, see, I was that planner in my friend group. I would make all the plans. But they said they wanted to do these things, which is a little different.
She just showed up with a calendar. And I was like, oh, clock me out. I shan't be going on.
You shan't.
Southwest, run me my money, because I ain't doing that. I ain't doing any of that. So solo travel does give you the opportunity to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And I feel like in our real lives, like between work and responsibilities and bills you got to pay and got to get the mail and you got to do all these things. You don't often have the opportunity for a days at a time to just do what you want, do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you like.
Mm-hmm. Miriam wants the pros and the cons of solo traveling. I feel like we're doing that. We're just kind of taking the long version, Miriam. You might need to watch this whole thing to get it all.
More pros than cons.
More pros than cons.
Many more pros than cons.
Even from an extrovert. An introvert and an extrovert discuss solo traveling.
Right. Who just started this journey in June.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of opportunity to, Denise mentioned earlier, to like gain more confidence in your ability to do things at all, much less your ability to do them alone.
Right.
Right. But there's also like, you learn a lot about yourself. Like I learn a lot about my problem solving skills when I have to solve every problem. Okay, the bus ain't show up. All right.
What we gonna do now?
What we gonna do now?
Got to figure this out.
I'm gonna figure this out. Now, when the bus did not show up, I figured it out by asking somebody else in line who lived in the city I was in, like, is this normal? And they were like, yeah, girl, it'll be here. They were like, yes, it's 2 hours late, but don't trip, girl, don't trip. The bus will be here. I was like, okay, well, if y'all are still standing here in line, I guess I should still stand here in line and wait for this bus that's 2 hours late. Great. Okay. Bus will be here. So yeah, there's that opportunity to kind of figure out who you want to be. I think another great opportunity for yourself when you're solo traveling is to really figure out who you want to be and what you want to do when you don't have to do anything. Right?
True.
Because sometimes we think we are the go, go, go girl on vacation, but it's because we're with go, go, go people
who now sit down.
Right?
Who now sit all the way down.
Go, go, go people, or you've signed yourself up for something. But like when I was on my sabbatical and I was like, okay, if I don't have to do anything today, I can choose. And there, especially on a sabbatical, there feels like sometimes it can feel like there's, until you get close to the end, there's never ending time. I got today, I got tomorrow, I got days on days and days.
You know anything about that?
If I don't have to do anything, what's the thing I want to do? Sleep was
high on the list.
High on the list was sleep. But it was also like explore, go to like take a walk. I love walking through a new city. I love going to museums. I love eating. These are all, these are the things I wanted to do, right? I don't want to bungee jump. I'm not an adventure traveler, I realized. I don't want to do that. No. When I was leaving Zimbabwe, everyone at the airport was like, you didn't go whitewater rafting? I told y'all before.
Though.
What?
Those rapids, though. That's professional.
The photo of the rapid, the boat was like this, and the people were toppling out of the boat. Like, this is the photo. The boat is sideways in the air, and the people are toppling out. I can't believe you didn't go whitewater rafting. If you don't get this energy away from me, lady, what do you... No, but like you get that choice. No one's signing you up for anything you don't want to do. Another thing I see, I had someone in my community deal with the other day. I was trying to remember if you were there. Someone traveled to a far away country and then wasn't enjoying their experience. And digging into why they weren't enjoying their experience, we think it's because they were having the vacation that was expected of them and not the vacation they really wanted or needed, right? Like you go to places and people are like, oh, did you see this? Did you do this? Did you just, what do you mean you went to China and didn't see the wall? Maybe it's far, right? Like, but your friends and family do have expectations of you, of what you're going to do and what you're going to see. The more you solo travel, the more you'll be able to kind of release those expectations and know that like what you experience in the moment is more important than the story you can tell them when you get back, right? Like you need to know that when you're here, you feel good doing X, Y, or Z, not that everyone said I had to do this. And so I did it. And then I didn't. Like when I was climbing the Eiffel Tower in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
it was very much who said. Who said this was a good idea? Who said this was what I needed? Who? I was with a friend. By myself, I think I'd have been like, oh, look, it's a lot of metal. With a friend, I was like, how did I end?
Yeah.
How did I end up doing this?
How did I get here?
How did I get here?
Did you go all the way to the
on
top?
every floor? I don't think you can go.
I mean, as high
I got
as
to
you
the
go.
yeah, as high as you go.
Okay. So no, I stood on the ground at the Eiffel Tower, and I didn't even know it twinkled until I turned my back and I saw it on the building. I was like, oh, that's all I needed.
Listen, I'm gonna end up in a kitchen somewhere, not working. When I travel, I'm gonna end up in a restaurant kitchen, looking around, talking to people. I don't know how it happens, but it happens.
You end up in the kitchen.
You want to sit? Yes.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm talking to the waiter. I'm talking to the owner.
In the kitchen.
All of a sudden, I'm in the kitchen. Hi.
Okay.
I'm like that's what my solo trips turn into. Even my group trips. They'd be like, "Where'd you go?" I just went to the kitchen real quick.
I've been hanging out back there.
I was looking around to see what was going on in the kitchen. They said I needed to see something, so I saw it. Right? Like that's what my solo travel isn't jumping out of a boat. My solo travel is what y'all got going on back here?
Wow.
Who that lamb for?
Can't taste the pork sauce? Belly for?
Who that pork belly? That pork belly's for me, right? I know that pork belly is for me. Listen.
Hilarious. But see, there's all different kinds of solo travel.
All kinds of solo travel. You need to decide what yours is. I think there's a medium amount of pressure to do specific things in specific locations. But if that's not you, right? Like Raven just said when she was walking up the rock in Colombia, she was like, what is this mess? But that's one of the things. Like, oh, when you go to Colombia, it's Guatape, right? You got to go see the rock. You got to climb up. Why? Right? If your knees are not climbing up 750 stairs, you don't need to do that. If you can't listen, anyone who gives you crap about not doing it, tell them to go buy their own ticket and do it themselves. You're not living your life for other people.
This is true.
Poetry says that's a real extrovert move. When it's food related, I'm going to finesse somebody into something. The other day when we were in Zimbabwe, we ordered a set course. We went to a restaurant. All they had was it was a 3-course meal. I think you had to have the 3-course. That was it. You couldn't get anything a la carte. Nothing. Baby, the way I heard them say that there was a special group and they had something that I wasn't about to eat, I was like,
you made your way in there?
Actually,
what's going on over here?
I heard you talking about some ravioli, some goat cheese ravioli.
Did you get it?
You know I got it.
Oh, Lord.
Sir, if it's in the kitchen,
why can't I have some?
Why can't I have? If it exists in this realm, why am I not eating it? He was like, well, I spoke to the chef and I'm going to get it right. Yes. I said, okay. Oh. No, that. Listen, I will extrovert for food. You're right. I will extrovert. Goat cheese?
Okay.
Go ahead and bring it here. I said, oh no. All right. So cons, let's think of some cons of solo traveling. There's no one else to depend on. Now, that's not always true because you could be solo traveling with a group. But if we're talking straight solo traveling, you got to be willing to make the decisions for yourself. You could always ask questions in a Facebook group. You can always hit your girls up in the group chat. But in the moment, you've got to be comfortable relying on yourself. And I think it becomes easier to rely on yourself.
It does. Traveling. Yes. It definitely does. Well, I never really had that problem. So that wasn't the issue of mine, relying on myself. It was just, my biggest issue was that I was going to be lonely. That was my biggest issue.
Okay.
And I figured that one out.
Okay.
Safety, I wasn't concerned about that. I also have my location on my phone, where my daughters have it. My adult daughters have it. So they always know where I'm at. I went to the doctors at a hospital, and my daughter was like, "What you doing at the hospital?" So
they watching you, huh?
She at that moment she just happened to look, and she was like, "What you doing?" She said all of a sudden she looked and it had a big red cross. She's like, "Why are you at the hospital?" And I was like, "I'm at the doctor. My knee, get my knee checked out." So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, they have my location, so that's another level, another little safety thing. But my biggest concern was being lonely out there in them international streets. But I have found that is not the case. And it's enough, I make as much alone time as I want and interact with people as much as I want. And it works out.
Solo travel is also, I hear, I don't know.
Lying.
Wait, you'll know in a minute. I don't know. But I hear solo travel is a great time to start dating people. Out here making friends, making tour guide friends with the dating. I don't.
What are we talking about?
No. No. This wasn't.
Okay.
This isn't about anybody in the apartment right now.
Okay.
Or is it? No.
Maybe.
I'm minding my business.
Okay.
No, but it is a time where get on a little app. Maybe you find yourself a tour guide for a day or two,
a week, a month.
Someone to have dinner with. There's 1,000 ways to not be alone in any place if you feel loneliness. Some of y'all mentioned some cons. Boom.
What are the cons?
Boom.
Cons of traveling alone?
Yes. You might wander off into a sketchy area. Listen, I am more likely to end up in a sketchy area traveling with other people who don't have the common sense.
Okay, but where are you going that you're traveling off into a sketchy area? Like,
you've looked at a street before and been like,
I know, but I'm not going down there. Like, where are you going that you are like
walking around? See, I'm a bit lost. I'm just gonna walk through a city and see.
Okay.
But I'm definitely looking ahead and clocking that street real quick to be like, that's not the block for me. I was gonna turn right, but no, we're not doing that, right? I don't think there's any, unless you are not a person. If you are not a person who is aware of where they're going or pays attention to like where they're going, if you're likely to wander into a bad area in your hometown, right? Because you're just not aware. People are just not aware like that, right? You're just not aware of what's going on. Then yes, that might be a con of solo traveling, but there's a way around that, right? Like take tours, go with buses, get on a hop off bus, take a walking tour. I love a walking tour. First day I get to a city, give me a free walking tour. Let me ask the tour guide whatever things I need to be looking out for in the city. I was doing a walking tour once. I was with my mom. We were in some city. I can't remember where we were. And one woman had on a gold necklace. And the police came over, talked to a tour guide, and he was like, "You got to take that off." They said, "Don't be out here."
Where was this at?
I can't remember what city it was.
Wow.
I think they spoke Spanish, but that's all I remember.
Okay.
He was like, "Nah." The cop was like, "Take that off, baby. Put it in your bag.
Well, you shouldn't travel with expensive jewelry. Do you travel with expensive jewelry?
I live in a place where people tell me I should not wear expensive jewelry.
Okay.
But like, I live there and I like shiny things. If I can't wear it here, where can I wear it? Right?
Well, you can wear shiny things that are not real.
Who can?
You can. They're not expensive.
Ooh.
No, you can't. Okay.
Well, I think my bigger thought is like, if you have it, right?
Okay.
Where are you going to wear it?
To a place.
Like what?
Like if you go to a show, if you go to a dinner,
Right. Okay. So
If you go
I live
to-
in Mexico City.
Okay.
If I go to a show, if I go to a dinner, I'm still in Mexico City.
You are, but you're going from your house to the Uber or whatever, and from the Uber, you're not walking the streets.
Oh, well.
Or are you?
I've been walking the street. See, Mexico City, you know this because you've been there. Mexico City is a city where you leave to do A, and by the time you get home, you're all the way to W. You did all the things.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't travel with this. Well, I've never been a jewelry person for the most part, so
I don't travel with expensive jewelry because I think I'm going to lose it. But I don't necessarily think there's any city where I have anything I wouldn't wear.
okay.
Right? Like I'm not bringing it with me to South Africa because if I lose it in somebody's Airbnb, I'm gonna feel bad. Right?
Okay.
But
okay.
Living in a city where people say like, "Oh no, you can't wear." Well, baby, if I don't
wear it here, what I'm gonna do with it?
Keep it in a safe till I die? Like,
I don't know.
Listen, there's no easy answer.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna listen.
Well, maybe not do a walking tour in an unknown
Maybe
area.
not doing a walking tour. If they tell you to take your jewelry off, take it off. It wasn't even like it was like a small, like a thin gold chain.
It was that serious?
They said absolutely not.
If
we can see it,
ma'am.
If we can see it, you don't get robbed. I was like, oh,
wow.
It might have been Buenos Aires. It might have been.
Okay.
I don't remember. I was with my mom, and I know we were both like, oh, okay. All right, I missed a lot of comments. Do you factor in how friendly local people are in your selection of where to travel? I don't generally know how friendly people are until I'm there, right?
I would agree with that. They're very nice here. They're very nice.
Yes. Some people, so leaving just Mauritius, beautiful place, loved it. The people, not some, like they were like.
Are they Indian?
They're Blindian, right? Like they're.
Blindian, y'all.
There's some black, there's some Indian, there's a lot. Okay. This is not, listen, you can come, if you're from Mauritius, you can come tell me I'm wrong. In looking at the faces, it looks like generations ago, there were some black people and there were some Indian people. And since then,
had a baby.
There've been a lot of babies. That's what it looks like.
Blindian.
So, yeah.
Well, the Africans here have been very nice.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I don't know, but I've interacted enough to say very nice. You know what I mean?
Well, like at the hotel. So maybe it's just because I don't know I either know expats or people who are in the service industry. And they've been extremely nice and very helpful, and so much more so than the service industry in the United States.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
But yeah, in Mauritius, it felt very much like, could you just do your transaction and leave? Thank you, goodbye.
And that's a tourist country, right?
I think I got the impression, I could be wrong, that the majority of the tourists don't leave the resort.
The resort, okay.
And we weren't staying on a resort, right. So we didn't have, I think, we were in the world. We didn't have a typical tourist experience based on what I believe a typical tourist experience is there. All right. Okay, Mary mentioned a con, which I think is a good one. You have to really pay attention when traveling through the airport, transferring flights, picking up luggage, getting taxis, lots of coordination on your own. Yes. You listen, when I first started doing my sabbatical, people would ask me how much luggage they should bring. And my answer, and I haven't said this in a long time, but my answer was, don't bring any more luggage than you can bring in an airport bathroom with you. Because if you can't bring it in the stall, what you gonna do when you're here by yourself? If it's more than you can fit in the stall, airport, and some of them are small. The other day I had to leave my small carry-on bag and my tote bag outside of the bathroom. I was in a lounge. There was nobody else in there. It was fine. But like in some bathrooms around the world,
I agree with that, but I need my stuff.
yes. But you know you're taking a risk.
Well, yeah,
by
so
not.
my big bag, I can, if I'll leave out the door, if somebody rolls away with it,
You can chase them down.
right. But my carry-on and my personal item, they will squeeze in that bathroom.
They
with
couldn't
me.
squeeze in with me the other day, and I was like,
Wow.
all right.
Well, we're gonna sit there
We're
with the
gonna
door
risk.
open.
We're gonna risk it. There was an employee in there, and I was like, if I get jacked, it's by her. I think I can throat chop her real quick.
Wow.
We'll be fine. We good.
So yeah, I need my big suitcase, my small carry-on, and my personal item. I don't know how to pack with
that. No, but that's what I carried in my sabbatical. But there are people out there who want to take like 3 suitcases.
Okay, no.
You can't go to the bathroom.
This is true. That's a lot. And then a lot of places don't have elevators, and don't let the escalator or something be broken. Ooh, baby.
It is easier to do the transportation part, and less expensive if you're splitting costs, to do the transportation parts of traveling with other people. But if your choice is to wait for somebody else or to go on your own, pack lighter and go by yourself.
Yeah.
I think there's only a couple places in the world where I was like, I wish someone was here with me. And it's usually to split the cost. Like in the Seychelles, it wasn't even like a romantic thing. I was like, why is the taxi $80 to get to the resort? Why, if I want to get back in, if I want to leave the resort and get back into town, it's $75. So to get to,
is that expensive in the Seychelles?
Oh,
Is it?
I'm glad we had this conversation.
Is it warranted to go? Is it like? Is it beautiful? Is it more beautiful than Mauritius?
I don't think I can say yes to that.
Okay.
Oh wow.
But it's much more expensive.
It was lovely. It was beautiful.
But so is Mauritius, you said.
Listen, I saw the price for that hotel, and this was 2018. I saw the price for the hotel, and I was like, let's look at points, because baby, shan't, won't, can't. And you know, money isn't real, but still, I was like,
This one.
what are these numbers? No, even just that was very few times where I'm like, oh, this would be better if someone was here. I was like, I need somebody to pony up $40 so I can go into town and see what's going on in the market. No?
Wow.
I got to do 70 on my own?
Is that expensive? Wow.
It was.
Yeah, we're having this beautiful lightning storm out here. It is beautiful.
Raven Michelle, another one of our extrovert friends, says solo traveling can be lonely if you want to share certain moments with specific people, but other than that, it's bomb. I always, in all caps, meet people without trying so I can have people time when I need it.
It's my kind of people.
If you're an introvert, practice for like 13 seconds. When someone says hi, give them a true hi back and ask them, especially if they look like an extrovert.
Like give them a hey, how are you?
I would say ask them one question about yourself, and they'll take you and they'll listen.
Full
y'all go together now. One question. If you feel like you need some people time. Listen. Aspen Sierra says, I'm a chronic overpacker because I need my hair products and skincare. Okay.
What's chronic? I mean, how chronic is chronic? Like, how many bags are we talking?
I don't know.
Because I need another packing class. So I would like to take less, but I don't know. I feel like I need everything I bring.
Okay.
Use everything you bring?
I have. This time I have used everything I bring. I used it last time too when I was in Ecuador.
How many suitcases do you have?
Just the one big one.
Mm-hmm. Is it packed?
No, it's plenty of space because if it was packed, it'd be over 50 pounds.
Okay.
And so it's not even the size, it's the weight. And then I have a carry-on and a personal item.
Okay.
And I need all of that. I don't know how people do backpacking and
I don't. It's not my ministry.
It's
not a topic for this channel.
No, okay.
I don't. Maybe we can have an expert come in sometime, but it's not me. Yeah, no, but one way to combat that is to know what they likely have where you're going. Like, in a few weeks, I'm going to Europe. I know there's nothing any toiletry I want to buy,
You can get it in
I
Europe.
can find cheaper in Europe than I can in Mexico. Anything. If it's a brand name that you recognize, I can get it cheaper in Europe, but I can get it in Mexico. So I can bring almost nothing and get it all while I'm there.
And I'm starting to see that now that I'm slower traveling.
Yeah.
When you're going for a week, it doesn't make sense to go to the store
And
and
buy
buy
stuff, yes.
a big bottle of body wash when a little one will do you. And they probably have it in your hotel or Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
But I am seeing I can lessen some of those things because you can get them when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I'm beginning to notice that.
Yes.
And even clothes, pack less clothes because you're going to go shopping.
You're going to go shopping. I always make sure I stay in places that have a washer.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't bring a whole out. Be prepared to wear the same thing more than once. It's a vacation. No one cares.
But you do get tired of wearing the same things.
No, buy something new.
I have, but I'm saying, like the clothes that you bring, you're like, okay, I don't want to wear this one more time. No, so I bought new clothes, not because I didn't want to wear them another time, because I was in the mall, and then I just have more clothes to wear.
Ooh, this is Aisha. Hey, Aisha has a good one. Book an Airbnb experience if you're feeling lonely. Great way to meet people, and the operators typically very friendly. Yes.
And they a lot of them are very good and price well.
Mm-hmm. I like, as a professional and a business owner, I like to book a photo tour in a city where someone will walk around the city, they'll show you things, they take photos of you. You coming back like,
have you done that?
Yes, in a bunch of cities.
I haven't done that yet. Have you done that?
I haven't, but
Okay, I have to do that.
Mm-mm.
Maybe in Portugal.
Yes,
I'll do that.
They're not generally
I know
expensive.
they're not. I've seen them, but I just
get
never
great photos.
did it.
Get great photos, and you talk to someone who is used to taking people around, and it's usually, you know me, the one-on-one is where I thrive. The group tours is too many people. The one-on-one, yes, talk to me, and then show me the things and tell me what not to do, because you walk around with tourists all the time and you know the mistakes we make. Yes. You need photos for the website, photo tour in a new city. It covers so much ground. So much ground. Trust me. All right. Photo and food tours. Yes, a food tour. Boom. Do it. You get to eat and make friends. All right. What else are great things to do when you're solo traveling?
Well, they just named a couple because we did a food tour.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't done the photo shoot thing. But I think I'm gonna do that when I go to Portugal.
Listen.
What?
Get fly.
I'm gonna do that when I go to Portugal. I'm gonna have
take me to the
photo shoot
because they know where the good photo spots are.
They do.
They do.
I've seen the pictures that they post and stuff. So I'm gonna try that. I just haven't gotten around to trying that. I think a lot of them were named. I can't think of any more. Can you?
We'll get to some. The lighting outside is very distracting, y'all.
It is. It's so pretty.
It is. It is. I'm trying to go through the comments to see if I missed anything. All right. So sketchy streets, I don't think is a real con traveling alone, unless you wander into sketchy streets at home. And someone else said lack of direction. Listen.
What do you mean?
Getting lost because they lack direction. My mama can't tell left from right, much less north from south.
Y'all.
And when she's with me,
y'all, she's so sweet. Why is she talking about her mama?
I say she's not sweet.
I know you didn't.
Although if you ask me, I might. Well, that wasn't the topic. I said she has no sense of direction. She'll tell you she has no sense of direction. And so when she's with me, I have to do all the mapping and planning and figuring and taking places. But when she's traveling solo,
she finds her way.
Now the walk may be 20 minutes longer than it needed to be.
But she finds her
She
way.
She ain't never.
She
I've
finds
never
her
lost.
way.
She's never been unable to come back. She was taking the train in Dubai. Who, her?
Have you taken the train to Dubai?
Uh-huh.
It's so easy. What is?
Oh, no.
What?
It's easy when you have some sense.
Your mother had. Listen.
Directions,
she didn't need to
places,
stop.
transportation.
I've met this woman.
No, she will tell you. I don't know if she's
stop.
watching right now. She will tell you. She has no, like, she literally.
She doesn't. If you're saying she doesn't, she doesn't. But she does.
She says she's here.
She does.
She will tell you.
Miss Dow. I'm on
The-
this side.
She made me tell Stephanie that she took the train and made it back home because she was so proud of the fact that she could do that. She did that. That's how bad in Dubai.
The train is pretty.
And yet she was impressed and proud of herself for doing it. I'm not making this up. I didn't know she took the train until she told me
the train in Dubai is pretty straightforward. Have you taken the train to Dubai? Okay. All right.
No.
It's pretty hard to get lost.
And yet
she made it where she was trying to go.
She made it where she was, and she made it back home. But no, so if you are that person that has no sense of direction, perhaps you should give it a try and see if you're better when you're by yourself, right? If you don't have anyone to rely on, you got your Google Maps, you have people. I'd be like, my phone says I need to go left to find this street, but and they'd be like, yes, that is exactly what. Listen,
now I do that. I'll ask every step along the way. I don't want to walk out the way.
I don't want to talk to people.
I don't want to talk to them.
I don't want, but if it's between me going in the wrong direction and me hi, I've got one quick question for you. I'm sorry, do you live here? There's something I don't, thank you. I'd be asking.
Yeah, I ask. I will, if I'm confused about something, I will ask. And then as soon as I'll take two, make a right, make a left, make a right, and then I need to do something else, I must stop and re-up on my directions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't got time to be roaming and turning in wrong areas. And
listen, even Stephanie said Herman Dow could get lost. She said she get lost. She don't follow instructions.
I tried.
You tried. You did. Okay, so Chef B does speed. She finds speed dating events in cities. I hadn't thought about that. I think because talking to a never mind. You already talked bad enough about me. Never mind. I didn't say nothing. But no, I don't believe a speed dating event would be perfect for me. But yes, you have dates until you leave. I love that. That's a great idea for other people. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. No, I think, listen, I highlighted it because I think y'all should be doing that. Another thing, Mawa Works did a graffiti tour in Barcelona. It was great. A sunrise paddleboard with a meetup group. I like that. Yes, find groups. You don't ever have to be so lonely when you're traveling alone.
You don't there's so much, to find and to do, and to Google. I Googled a pottery class. I wanted to do a pottery class. I just never got around to booking it. There's a lot to, you can find a lot to do. So the one of the expats that live here, she started she started going to a crochet class, and I mean, whatever you like, this, you're going to be able to find it.
And I think there's also I think that if you're, switch gears for a second. If you're solo traveling and you're not enjoying it, I think it's time to sit down and press the reset button. What are the things that I'm not enjoying and how do I fix that? Right. Mm-hmm. And what are the things that I think I would enjoy and how do I get to those? Right. I sometimes, especially if you're going on a long trip, like a sabbatical or traveling for months, whatever, long-term travel, it can be easy to feel like another city. The joy and luster and appeal of going to new cities sometimes fades.
Does it? I'm asking.
Katrina.
I don't know.
It does.
I haven't experienced that.
It does. If
Does
you
it,
travel,
Katrina?
I think so.
Okay.
it can. It doesn't always, but it can for some
So when
people.
you say going, do you mean the actual physical going or just being there?
All of it.
Okay.
I remember I went to Barcelona maybe like 6 months into my travel.
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona, Madrid, I don't remember. And I didn't get out of bed for like 4 days because I was like, I don't even want to be outside. Like, ew. Like, I had museums I wanted to go to, and I was like, ugh. But with the people, ew.
So
Just
you
because
burnt out?
I was burnt out. I was burnt out
Okay.
from traveling.
Well,
But-
I haven't been there yet.
Right? And maybe
Okay.
you won't. But what I find helpful is to think of like, what are the things I actually like? If I don't want to do that, what are the things I want to do? And sometimes the answer is sleep. But like for this trip, I've said this before on the channel, but I cannot find high quality tea in Mexico City. So one of the things I want to do on this trip and the one I take in a few weeks is to get tea wherever I'm going. So I have tea from I've enjoyed like, oh, I need to go to the grocery store because like I need to see what tea they have here. And I'm gonna try it. And if I like the box that I try, I'll buy more to come home with, right? So that's an opportunity for me to say like, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to do a tour today, but I'm gonna go to the grocery store, right? I'm gonna do right, or like, I was talking to a friend about meeting up in Turkey, and she was like, she crochets. One of them things with the needles and whatever. She was like, I'm gonna go look for yarn, and I was like, I hadn't considered the fact that we would be spending time
looking for yarn
in Turkey. She's like, it doesn't matter where we go, I'm gonna look for yarn. And I was like, I hadn't considered the fact that when we travel together, you're going to spend time looking for yarn. Because like, not my thing, but if I have anything else going on, I'll go with you, look for yarn. But like, yes, what is your thing, and how can you spend some time doing your thing or feeding your thing while you solo travel? That's a good way to kind of like get grounded again in this experience.
I rented a bike when I was down in Simon.
Okay, Katrina rented a bike. Because she likes to bike. Let's see. Let's see if I miss any comments. Girl, please says, directionally speaking, I always build extra time about 20 minutes into my to and from on foot or public transportation to account for me going in the wrong opposite direction first. Listen, I have a great sense of directions, and I still sometimes on public transportation will be like, oh, am I headed in the wrong direction? Oh, let me hop off this bus and hop on the right one. Aspen Sierra looks for skincare and hair care products in other countries. Yes. I love grocery shopping while traveling. This is it. This is it for me.
What?
I love the ability to change my mind on a drop of a dime. Yes. I got dressed to go out, stepped outside and said, nah. Listen, I'm good for being like, oh, I didn't realize how humid it was. Where it's not humid? In the apartment. Right here. Next to this air conditioner. It feels good. Listen, in Malaysia, my hotel was beautiful. Stunning. I went outside. The minute I went outside, like armpits drenched, skin just drip. Let that be a warning.
What month?
I don't know if it
I have
matters.
to Google the month.
I don't know if it matters.
It does,
Malaysia is
just hot.
It's like God said, let me boil some water real quick and throw this island in here. Let me just
so
it.
When I'm doing my research and my
You
planning, it may be a pass through.
You might want to check the weather.
I do want to stop, but it may be a pass through.
Stephanie said every month. I'm telling you, I don't remember what month I went. I don't think it matters.
So it's going to be a pass through.
Literally, like I would you would walk outside the hotel, and we were right across the street from a train station. Every time I made it inside a train station, I'd be like, there's moisture everywhere.
Wow.
Even there, there's moisture. It's that humid. I was like, this is not. So you go out like after dark, but y'all know I'm not an after dark girl. Why is it? I gotta wait till nightfall for it not to be like this. Ugh.
So is it
So
bearable after dark? Does it cool down enough to make it? Stephanie,
I don't listen. I remember going out after dark, but I also remember going out in the daytime and being absolutely miserable. I don't remember if I was miserable at night, but it was so humid. I was
how long
like,
did you stay?
I think a week.
Okay, so maybe a
And
few days.
A few days,
Would
yeah.
be plenty. Because I'm not a fan of the cold or the extreme heat.
Okay. I say this with love to my audience watching. I know I have some women who are hitting the prime of their life. If you could get a hot flash, don't get it in Malaysia. Morning, noon, or night. You don't. I don't think I've ever. I think it's the one place where I've been like, oh, this is terrible. Like, this is like truly like there's things I want to see, but like you step up just dripping. And then minute you step outside.
The beauty, the heat, the beauty, the heat.
I don't like being uncomfortable.
It's no.
Ain't nothing that
nothing
beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, okay.
Y'all in the comments talking about dates? I see you. Leslyn says Malaysia's hot all year round, even in the rain season. Any thoughts on Puerto Rico? It's a beautiful place. Depends on where you're going. It's all right. So remember I said make it as easy as possible for you. Puerto Rico is easier because you're not. Is that sparkling? Did I make a mistake?
It says natural spring, but
that bubbled, right?
It did.
Listen, I bought spring water, and it's bubbling like.
Well, and it's like trying to come out like, and it was sitting. It wasn't like somebody shook it up.
It's bubbling like someone put the wrong label on it. You haven't opened that one, have you?
We're about to see.
I think that one might be the same thing. Does it say sparkling? Oh, sparkling.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see that.
Yeah, sparkling right there.
Okay, I didn't see that. It says, but this is natural spring. Okay.
Sparkling spring water. I was like, the label's a little bit different. Up? Yes. They put bubbles in the spring water.
Well, I can't even, it's been sitting here.
Yes. That's a lot of bubbles.
Okay, let's let you relax a little.
All right.
This is about to get out of control.
So yes, that's another thing we were talking about earlier about if you're solo traveling, how to make things easier for you, like cut down on the amount of work you have to do. And as much as we may not want to admit it, traveling across any international border is work. You got to get it into Mauritius. The lady was like, where are you staying? I was like, at an Airbnb. What's the address? I'm like, they didn't give me an address. The lady sending a driver for us because there is no address. And she was like, but that's not good enough. Okay, baby, what you want me to do? She's like, well, what's her name? I know her first name. Airbnb, I know her first name. She's like, no, what's her family name? I don't know. Okay, so I get past her. I get past the immigration officer. Now there's a health screening. Health screening, same question. Where are you staying? I'm staying in, like, I can tell you like the neighborhood. I need more information. I do too, apparently. I don't have right? So like Puerto Rico is easier because you just get out, right? You don't have to go through the immigration, talking to people. There's a lot of English. You're still in America. I think that's a good place to do a first solo trip. Okay, Aisha said y'all don't be lying on the forums. I didn't know how to lie because I didn't know the street. Like, it was literally like it would have been impossible to lie because there was like the entire time I was there, I did not see a street sign with a name on it. Really? Now Google Maps would be like turn left at Grand Baptiste. But like, where's Grand Baptiste? There's no sign. There's no. So you have to be like, Google Maps is telling me that this is the street. Otherwise, it was just made up places. No numbers. No
numbers?
No numbers. No street names. I don't know what they do. So when she was like, at least I knew it was let me tell you, when she was like, well, give me her last name. If you can know where I'm staying by my host's last name, you don't actually need an address at all, do you? You don't need an address at all. And you had to give a phone number. Here's your phone number. Yes, a phone number or email address. Here's your phone number. If this is a health screening, right? Because sidebar, y'all, sorry. If this is a health screening because you think, I think it's a hangover from COVID, you might need to tell me something because of COVID.
So what did they ask you at the health screening?
They just wanted information, what flight you were on. I think they might have asked for my phone number, email address. I don't remember, but they asked for my host address, all that stuff, right?
That was the health screening?
That was the health screening. And which African countries I'd been to lately in the past 6 months. Which African countries I've been, not any other countries.
That wouldn't feel welcoming. It's like, why don't you just say, I don't want you here, get out.
But I think it was because the only risk they see is from African countries.
Right.
Right. Not like oh, you're black, don't be here. More like y'all know they carry diseases in Africa. So which African countries have you been to?
Yep, you don't have to have yellow fever, do you?
You don't have to. Which is, I was like, what does it mean? Anyway, well, I think I know in Botswana, I think, and maybe in Mauritius, I don't know, you need yellow fever based on the countries you've been to.
Okay.
Right. So that might be why they were asking. But like, y'all know where all them diseases started? Okay. Anyhow. Where were we?
I don't know.
I'm going to the screening. You don't need this information. I go to the health screening. He wants to know where I'm coming from, my address, my phone number. If you need to communicate something with me because I've been infected, you have my phone number, my email address, my host's email address. Were you really going to run down on us at the address? Did you need the address?
It was coming for you.
You was going to swoop me up in the van or something with no warning? Doing a lot. Y'all doing a lot. They did ask for a hotel name, but because it wasn't a hotel, I didn't have a hotel name.
Trying again with this water.
All right. No, she did not have a location PDF for download. She was like, so yes, for visas, know where you're staying. Have an address. Because I could have lied by giving a hotel name, and I've done it before. But this time I was like, I thought
Were you prepared with one?
Huh?
Were you prepared with one?
No, because I thought what I was given, I thought I had enough information. You have her phone number. You heard Janice talking about this about sparkling water.
It's acting like a can of Coke you shook up.
And she's now spilled water. The whole room is wet now. Entire room. Entire.
Katrina, that is not true. Tell them that you're lying. Tell the people you're lying.
Entire room is
Tell
wet.
the people that you are lying.
She gonna get fired.
Sure, you already fired me on the last one.
Did I?
Haji.
Oh.
She fired me on the last one.
Here's the thing about traveling solo. You're gonna get tips and advice.
She's not about to do this.
From other people.
Who got two beautiful No, wait, first of all,
I thought you needed to be asked a question.
No.
When we started this, you said you can't just talk. You need to be asked.
We need to straighten a few things out. First of all, I think this Haji person is not the one making all the clothes, because I got a beautiful jumpsuit made.
Mary talking about poor Haji, like she wasn't there for the disaster.
Because Mary got some nice pants from Haji. But Haji made me a beautiful jumpsuit. This one says, where did you get that from? That is what I didn't say, oh, Rashida, go to Haji and get the jumpsuit made. She said, where did you get that from? Now, mind you,
mistakes were made.
So now I got a beautiful jumpsuit. I don't know who made it, because apparently.
But she told me Haji did.
That's where I told her I got it from. That was the name of the shop. Lies, just like she lied about this board over here. And then I got a lovely pair of pants and a lovely shirt made. Perfect. Mary got a pair of pants made. They needed a little tweaking, but she got her pants made. Beautiful pants. Now, I did go back and get 2 pairs of shorts. I don't know who was making these clothes.
Tell us about the shorts. Tell us about the shorts, Shanice.
The shorts were wonky. I don't know who made the shorts. But the point is, I didn't say Rashida go to Haji. Rashida said, where'd you get the jumpsuit? Do you recall that? On the way to Gold's restaurant.
I cannot recall.
The lie she over here telling. Rashida said, where'd you get that jumpsuit? Now, granted, I did put it in the Facebook group, but I didn't tell Rashida.
Am I not allowed to be in the Facebook group?
No, because that's not where you got it from, because you didn't know. That's why you asked me. So no, we're gonna
anyway.
So anyway, it was
You're
a whack
going
experience.
to get recommendations from people, and some of them will be terrible.
But word recommendation, that we're not going to use that.
That doesn't mean that they're bad people. Sometimes. Sometimes they are bad people and they're trying to steer you wrong. Sometimes they're not. You have to decide. Will you ever accept a recommendation from them again?
She's a hot mess over here. Recommendation.
My outfit was a hot mess.
It was. It was. But your dress was cute.
My dress was cute.
Even though he didn't make it the way you wanted it, but your dress was cute. The dress was cute. So I think there was more than one. There were other people sewing. Is what the problem was. Is what I've concluded, because how do you make something perfect and then a hot mess? Same person.
So you acknowledge that my clothes were a hot mess, except for the dress.
Except for the dress,
which I designed, and he sewed wrong.
No,
he remade it 3 times.
He did the pattern, the color pattern wrong.
And
I'm not defending him. I'm not defending him.
Oh, that wasn't her defending it?
I was defending me. Me is who I was defending.
Did it not sound like she was defending?
Wait,
we're off topic. How? We're off topic because you
because
all of a sudden don't need questions anymore. We were in a shine sweatshop. Yes. The dress was very nice. I designed the dress. He sewed it incorrectly 2 or 3 times. Like, this is not what I asked for.
The color pattern.
I picked the colors.
I know, and it was supposed to be. Tell the people.
No, listen. I have moved past it in my life.
I haven't.
She got a very, very cute outfit, and then she recommended the person to me.
See, you keep using that word wrong
on purpose. I'm using the word on purpose, and I believe I'm using it correctly.
I'm using it
incorrectly.
That's
not why people are here. They are here to talk about solo traveling.
I got you.
The point is, when you solo travel, you're going to ask people questions, and some of them may lie to you.
You may get led astray.
You may get led astray. And what you have to do is bounce back and remember that not everybody is going to lead you astray.
Y'all, my jumpsuit is cute. My pants are cute.
And your shorts?
Next question. Somebody else made them shorts. I don't even know. I don't know if somebody else was Haji or if somebody else was somebody else. I don't know who made the good stuff.
Haji can't sew nothing.
Yeah, I don't know who made. I don't know who made the good stuff. But yeah.
Hoodwink. It was a whole bamboozle.
It was a whole ordeal. But yeah.
All right. If you're traveling solo, I think the best way to think about it is to reduce the barriers and boundaries that you will have that you don't like. Like, if you don't like the immigration process, go somewhere where you won't have to travel through immigration a lot. Right? That's not Africa. I got to stamp in and out of every one of these countries. If you, can y'all hear that right? It said, hello, we're here.
The thunder.
These ladies have been sleeping here for an hour. Yes.
It's been lightning for an hour.
If you get uncomfortable or you find yourself getting frazzled, if you have to speak another language, go to a place where people, a large percentage of the population speaks the language you need to speak, or go to a place where a large percent of the population involved in the tourist industry speak the language you want to speak, and intentionally stay at a large hotel where people speak English. A Marriott, a Hilton, or one of those, they'll be speaking English there, right? And then take tours. People will speak if English is your language, right? Like, make it easier for yourself so you don't feel like you're out there struggling and you don't want to go outside, right? There's nothing worse than there's very few things that make me not want to go outside. This weather. It's crazy, right? I think it's raining sideways. It is raining sideways.
Oh my God.
And it might be hailing again.
It is crazy.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We were hot earlier.
Yeah,
Fan
it was a beautiful
on.
day.
In the shade, fan on, hot.
It ain't no such thing going out there right now.
And now these ladies live here.
Oh my gosh.
What else can we say about it? We're very distracted, but it's lightning, there's thunder.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on outside.
We got these big.
I had a very
Doors.
scary experience at my Airbnb in Simontown.
What was your?
Definitely
Hold on. They can't hear you. So, Miss Ma'am, Miss Off Camera is talking about her scary experience in Simontown.
I'm terrified of insects. And I think that's something that you should consider when going to certain places, especially hot, humid, tropical places, the type of insects that might come into your residence. I'm asleep. I wake up, stretch, I look up, and there is a big black hairy spider hanging over my head.
So you were concerned because the spider was black?
No, because he was a spider. He could have been green. It didn't matter. He was a spider.
I heard
Racism?
it. I heard it. I heard the
Okay.
racism.
I can't help.
Anti-black.
I can't help what color
Big
he
black.
was.
Hairy spider.
So I'm in there by myself, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I actually got one of the neighbors to get her maintenance guy to come over, but they had already told me that because of the hairiness of him, that he was a poisonous spider. So he comes over, he gets the spider, he's gone. Now I'm like, I'm on edge.
Where was this?
This was south of Cape Town in Simonstown, where the baboons are.
Okay.
And a couple hours later, I go outside the front door, and there is another one, literally the size of my hand.
Was it also black?
And
He was blackish, brownish. He was a colored spider. He was a
Well, no, South Africa. So was he colored or was he black?
he was probably black. He was black. So once again, I was able to catch the maintenance guy. Thank God, right? I was able to catch him. He comes, he gets the spider, and he tells me that these spiders are more poisonous than snakes. Very, very dangerous spiders. And, I don't know what I would have done if it was not for this guy, but I'm terrified of bugs. And so to know that, I'm in an area where these poisonous spiders are, like, for me, like, it's really something that I have to consider. So that's why I say, like, sometimes staying in a guest house situation where you can be close to somebody who can rescue you from a situation like that, that's something that I have to consider. I don't know, maybe nobody else thinks about that, but for me, I think about that, because a bug I'll have a heart attack. They'll find me dead somewhere over a bug. So
now, when you travel with friends, are bugs you're still as much of a concern? Why not?
Because it's not as scary when there's somebody else, right? Because Frances was there with me, but she, like, literally the day before, she was there the day before, no incidences. As soon as she left, it was like, she's by herself. We gonna get her. Like, why didn't y'all do this when Frances was here? I had already asked Frances about her, was she afraid of insects? Because that's just something that's at the top of my mind. And yeah, as soon as she left, they all came out. It was pretty scary.
Did you know about that particular spider before you moved?
No, I hadn't even considered it.
Were they waiting for you?
They were waiting for me.
No.
They were waiting for me.
Spiders
When I woke up,
wait till we get her alone.
When I woke up that morning, he was right there, and then the other one at the front door. And I reached out to the Airbnb owner, and he was on a camping trip. He was like, "I'm an hour away from you. I can't get to you." And he let me know that I would start seeing, people walking up the street going to work, and I could, catch one of them on their way to work.
You were supposed to holler at a stranger on the street.
Oh, I did. I actually hollered at the next door neighbor, and she was the one who said, "I'll send my maintenance guy over."
Can you have her bottle of still water?
But
Have you ever seen this?
It's the most Listen, it's the most.
They put the sparkle.
Sparkling water.
I've never seen anything like that. I haven't. This is a lot.
I think this is for you. Does anyone carry or purchase Raid when traveling?
Raid? Like for bugs? Oh, no.
No, I don't. My phobia is so bad that I don't even like holding a can of Raid.
She doesn't even like holding a can of Raid. Yeah. So.
Phobia is real.
Now, if I went somewhere and there were like some ants or something like that, I would just pick up a can, but I'm not.
Carry.
If I got to carry Raid, I think there's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
If I have to carry Raid, I'm moving to another place.
Yeah, I'm just not.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not carrying Raid.
Ilyasa says they could have been there to protect you.
Well, and that's what I was going to add that point, that the owner was like, as scary as they are, we usually, let them hang around because they eat other insects. And yeah, that makes perfectly good sense, especially where the one at the front door was posted. I could see, if something gets under the crack of the front door, he's going to catch it. It made sense, right? But I still didn't want him at the front door.
Teresa, we are in Johannesburg. It is thundering and lightning. It hailed earlier, and it was also really hot today. So we're getting all the weather. All the weather. All right. Miss Callie says, Sheeta, can you do a video of places not to visit if you're afraid of bugs, especially spiders? No, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'm not bringing that energy into my life. I got to look up what bugs are where. Don't go to Australia. Right?
All the deadly stuff.
They got all the big deadly stuff. But I ain't researching where all the big bad bugs are, because then I would know. And I don't want to know that. Yeah. I'm just gonna go, and if I see it. I mean, the worst thing I've seen traveling is like a roach inside of where I'm staying. And at that point, I'm like, hi, I'm leaving. Thank you. Bye. Because if you can see one, Senegal, once in Mexico. I stayed in a place in Mexico. It's Airbnb. And the roaches, the roaches were like, it's cool that you turn the light on, but this is my house, so why would I scatter?
Oh, okay. Wow.
In the middle of the floor, hanging out. So I took photos, set them to Airbnb, hit the man up, and I was like, there are roaches in here. He was like, this is in Playa del Carmen. He's like, it's Mexico. There are always roaches. Now, this wasn't my first time staying in Playa. So I've stayed in a place before that did not have roaches. To which I said, if there are always roaches, that should be in the description. If you're telling me this is a feature and not, excuse the pun, not a bug, if this is a feature of the apartment, go on ahead and put it in like every other apartment in Playa del Carmen, there are roaches. Otherwise, run me my money. I'm going to sleep on my friend's couch tonight. I'm going to find a new place in the morning. Thank you. God bless.
You have to hope that you don't take any of them with you.
And my suitcase had been open.
I haven't run into any.
There's always roaches.
Knock on some wood somewhere.
Wood right there. I said,
Keep it that way.
I said, well then, that should be written. Because I'm taking multiple photos. There's roaches in the middle of the room like, hey girl, we on vacation together, baby.
So you was infested. It wasn't just a...
When that man said there are always roaches, I was like, well, guess what? I did not pay. I rented a solo place, not a place that I was sharing. And if this roach does not have the class enough to find a dark place when the light is on, it's not the roach for me. It's got. If it's not going, I got to go.
Okay.
Listen, if it's not going, I got to go. I said, oh, Airbnb ran me all that money back. I don't know if they do that now. If it was, like I said, like 2018.
They would if you had an issue like that.
Mm-mm.
You said they wouldn't.
Last time I had a roach when I was in Senegal, they were
Excuse me.
like, but what if you just rented another place from the same guy?
Mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Take me to a hotel. Mm-mm. No, thank you. No, thank you. Anyhow, I don't know how we got here. But I think we need to wrap it up because, yes. Mm-mm. Yes, you have to put it in the description as an attraction, native mascot. Oh, a couple people have asked about tipping here. I don't know. And someone said something about like not getting scammed.
About what?
Tipping.
And how would you get scammed tipping?
I don't know. Y'all too nice is probably the problem. Can you talk about how not to get hustled when tipping? I find it frustrating. How are you getting hustled?
I don't understand. What do you mean? Because
motivation. We got to talk about this.
People usually, from what I understand here, tip like 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get hustled tipping?
I don't remember. So when we were in Marrakesh, when we were hosting the trip, what people didn't see was that every time someone did something, it was like, now you have to tip them every time.
Okay.
And so I don't know if it's that kind of thing.
They have this thing where people will, you ain't ask them, but they'll back you out of the spot, and then they want to tip, stuff like that. But that's just borderline begging. So it's on your discretion, like yes, yay, nay.
I don't know how you get hustle tipping, but I'm guessing you're very nice, and you should put a stop to that. I get hustled in a few different ways, but I don't think with tipping. So I don't fully understand the question. But someone else asked something. Ooh, Coach Donna Marie is in the early stages of planning solo travels. This has been very helpful. I'm glad. We've just kind of been rambling.
Yay.
Okay. Motivation H. Yes, they do a little and they want to tip and they pass you to the next guy. I find that when you don't tip the first guy, they're less likely to pass you to the next guy who expects a tip. But when you start, or if you stop at any point along the way, if you feel like you're being passed along for tips, stop tipping, they'll stop passing you along. If there's a tipping chain, the minute you say no to like two people, you're not, they're going to be like, well, you're on your own. Now, you have to be willing to be on your own for whatever it is. Like someone might not help you back out of a spot. But if you feel like you're getting passed around for people to get money from you, stop. When we were in Fez, I think we went to the tanneries, the leather tanneries, and I had heard that some people would offer to take people there. They show up there and then they want a tip for taking you. For like, are you going there? Let me show you where it is. Even though you're going, let me show you where it is. They show you where it is. They want a tip. Now you go inside. There's a tour guide whose only job is to sell you things, but he wants a tip everywhere along the way. Someone wanted a tip. Eventually, if you are not feeling it, you just gotta start saying no.
Yes, well, they do that with your bags in the airport. You know, they want to put it on the cart. You can have one bag with wheels, and they're like, "Let me help you. Let me help you." You're like, I'm good. So just gotta say no.
Say no.
Complete sentence. No, thank you.
All right, ladies, have we covered this solo travel for the day? I think so. Anything you didn't say that you think you should have said?
No, I think I said, like I said, the biggest issue was being alone and lonely, and we discussed ways around that.
I just realized that because the mirror's up here, every once in a while you can see the flash of the lightning.
They can see
it?
Okay.
I can see it like out in that little
in the corner.
If I tilt it up more, so I can tilt it.
Oh, that
You
was a
guys can
big
see
one. They just
more
missed
of the
that
lightning.
one. That was a big lightning.
Look towards like that little black
spot.
section right there. You'll see lightning every once in a while. Let's see what's distracting us. All right. Rhonda's
So-
going on another safari this morning. Rhonda been in the streets.
Is
Yes,
she in,
Rhonda.
Is she in Cape Town or here?
Tanzania.
Oh, okay.
Go to sleep. Enjoy this.
She in the Serengeti?
I don't know. Did we discuss security? Yeah, don't do anything stupid.
Instinct. Follow your instinct.
Don't tell people you're alone.
Don't do that.
So like my one of the ways that I protect myself when I'm solo traveling is I don't do things when I'm not at my best. Like when I get tired, I'm tapping out. I'm not going to the next spot because I'm not thinking clearly when I'm tired. I don't do things at night. I don't go out. Solo traveling, I'm in bed by the time it gets dark. I'm headed to the Airbnb by the time the sun is going down. Because I don't want to be outside alone at night. But also being out, nighttime activities are not a priority for me when I'm traveling. If nighttime activities are a priority for you, like if you like going to bars, if you like going to clubs, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying you should think about how you take care of yourself in that situation. You should have a safety plan. So like, does it mean that you don't accept drinks from strangers, right? Does it mean that you only have one drink and then you're like, what is your safety plan for how you specifically travel? Because I'm mostly a daytime person, my safety plan usually involves my purse and not getting it stolen, right? There's not much else I have to worry about. Like, yes, safety, but I'm always really paying attention to where I'm going. If I'm in an Uber, I need to be able to follow on the map where you're taking me. Please, why isn't the voice on telling us where you need to turn left so I can know you're turning left? I be in the back seat looking at the phone in the front, making sure I got to put my glasses on because I can't see without them. Putting the glasses on to see, like, did you make the right left? If he's not making that turn, is he making the next? And then if I feel like we're not right, I'm on my phone in the back.
For the first time in an Uber, he went a different way than the map. The Uber sends you the text. You're off it sends you a text. You're off. This was just a couple. This is the first time I didn't even know it did that. It's like you're off the route. Are you okay?
No.
Yes. No, that's what it said. And I'm like, sir, where are we going? We off the route. He said, no, this way. It's quicker. And then he got right back on the route. By the time I was like, I'm gonna give this about another minute because I held it open. I was like, I'm gonna give this another minute before I press. Y'all help me. But he got back on the route. He just went. It was a subdivision we were coming out of, and he just went a different way. But I didn't know it did that.
I've never had that text before.
I got the text that said, we see you're off the route. Are you okay?
Because I be in the app like, aren't you supposed to go left here? I did that like in the last month. Weren't you supposed to make that left? And he was like, no.
One of them.
Because that's not going to take it. He was like, just hold on. We're going to do the next. And I was like, all right. I'm just looking at the map back here. So you know, if you was going to kidnap somebody, make it somebody else. I'm watching. So yeah, I listen. If I'm in a car in an Uber with you in a city I don't know, and we're friends in the back seat, yes, you can talk to me. But I'm only half listening to you because I'm watching where we're going. Is he following his phone? Does it look like it's right? Am I on my otherwise? So I figure out how you like to travel and figure out how you like to travel and what you're not good at. Like, what are the safety issues you have at home? Is it you always forget to lock your door? Right? Can you slide me the doorknob thingy, wedgie thingy on the counter? If you always forget to lock your door, I always travel one of these. I don't usually forget to lock my door, but sometimes at home I do because ain't nobody coming in. But I travel one of these, and when I go someplace like this Airbnb, I take it out of my suitcase and I put it at the door. So every time I come in the door, I see it on the ground. And I don't have the batteries in this now.
It's loud.
This thing, you press it under the door, right? So this, I don't know if you can see it on the side. I got to put it on the white area so you can see it. You slide it under the door. This presses down. If you try to move it at all, the alarm that goes off
On low is a siren.
It's like you trying to steal somebody's baby from the hospital. You know they put them things on the ankles or the feet or the head. I don't know where they put it on the babies now, but they put them little alarms on them. It's like you leaving the hospital with somebody's baby, and the hospital is like, "No, girl, that's not it." The alarm is louder than a car alarm. When you have batteries.
You have
in it.
one?
I don't have batteries in it.
Yeah, I have one of them, and mine says batteries in it, and they are loud.
Loud.
And they're loud on low. I don't even know
Loud.
what high sounds like.
Yes, there's a high, medium, and low sensitivity. You can turn it on or off. I don't have batteries because I'm not actually worried about anyone coming in. I have it more for the wedge because the only times it's ever gone off is when I've accidentally tried to open the door when it's in there.
Mine too.
Yes.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon. I will drop a link.
Amazon.
I'll drop a link here. Teresa said, I forgot that when we went to Cape Town, I had that one that goes by the knob and it didn't fit with how the door closed. Yeah, I don't have any of the knob ones, but this one, every door,
yeah,
every door it works.
And it doesn't slide because it has
no, it's got a like a
rubber grip.
It's got a rubber grip that's what would you call that?
Keeps it from sliding.
No, but like it's a textured.
There you
It's
go.
got a textured rubber grip, so that works really well. It's in my travel safety Amazon storefront. Look at that. Look at that. I'm about to find that and drop the link. It's for my safety things.
It's lightweight
and
very effective.
Safety essentials. Here we go. Here we go, yo. Drop the link right here. Yeah, Olayinka, they exist and they're good. The everything I don't have with me now, but I try to carry if I'm going somewhere where I'm like, I don't really know what's going to happen here, is a bra pocket. You might take my purse, but if you got to feel me up to get half, like I usually, like when I travel, I like to split up. So I have some cash in some place, some cards in some place, but not everything. So cards over here, cash over here, cash over here, not everything in one place. So if you get me, because I've got before, if you get me, you're not gonna get everything.
What is a bra pocket? It's specific bra with a pocket, or is it something?
It's this. You attach it to your bra. You can put it in the front. You can put it on the side, anywhere. It just clips on, and so no one can see it.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll look into that.
Put a little pocket. Put a little who's some scooch in there. If it credit cards, if it cash.
Okay.
You could also, I guess, put it on your underwear. Like if you want to attach it to your underwear, you could. Well, I feel like on your hip it would be more. I don't even feel it. Like I'm gonna put it on my side. I don't feel it during the day. I feel like at your hip you might, because of
feel it. If it's a card.
When you're walking, yeah, might be less comfortable. Motivations. I worry about my personal laptop, etc. when I leave the room.
What did she say?
I worry about my personal laptop, etc. when I leave the room. So a lot of places have safes. And I feel like if someone was going to come in my room to rob me, they would come in my room to kill me. So if you came in and took my computer, okay. Right? Like, all right.
That's a big jump.
No, it's not. I don't think it is.
If they're coming in to rob you, they're going to come to kill you.
If you're going to violate my space, right? While I'm not here, and take my computer, what would you have done if I was here when you came in?
Kill you.
So at least you took it while I wasn't here, right? Like, okay.
I don't agree with that, but
right?
Okay.
Like, if you were gonna rob, okay. So come in when I'm not here. All right. You know what I mean? If you were gonna violate the space anyway. Aspen Sierra says I hide my laptop in my suitcase when I'm gone. Sometimes I hide stuff in the lining of my suitcase because it's got that like lining you can unzip. I'm sure they know about hiding stuff in the lining, so they would do that.
I leave my laptop right out. It's like, if you're gonna take it, I'm gonna know it's like, it's not like I'm gonna miss this when I come back inside. So first thing we're gonna do is have a problem because we know that you took my laptop.
I always put the do not disturb sign on when I'm gone. I was in a hotel once, And the whole entire hallway was all black, painted all black. The do not disturb sign was white. Somehow they didn't see the do not disturb sign and came in my apartment, my hotel room.
Mm.
He was trying to kill me, huh? No, Aspen asked if the bra pocket would work for the ladies with the small chests. Side, put it on your side. Like they might see it in the front if it's, flat. They might see a little extra, but on the side, no one's gonna notice it. And it's a really flat thing.
Bra pocket.
I have a little bra pocket.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up when I get
That
home.
is not the name of it, but baby, it's in the safety thing that I dropped.
Okay.
Bra pockets. No, I don't work. Listen, the stuff I leave in the room. If you was gonna come in here, if you can access my room, right? It means you have a key. You have some way of getting it.
The guard. Let's start there.
Listen,
they don't play with security in South Africa.
If you can access my room when I'm not here, you could access it when I am here. So if you want to take it, take it. As long as I can come, I'm fine. Okay. And I have this to help keep me fine when I'm asleep. I don't do it in the daytime when I'm awake. When I'm asleep, I do it.
Nice.
I think that if someone is also, this is a conversation about solo travel. So if someone is going to break into your room when you're not there, when you're solo, they were going to break into your room when you weren't there if it was a bunch of y'all, right? They come in rooms. So I don't think for me, that's not a concern, but it's particular to solo travel because thieves gonna thief, right? Yeah. All right. I think we've done it.
Good.
Janice has been struggling with the water. Well, we won't talk about her tonight. Flooded the whole room. See that lightning?
Why is Rashida over here lying? She's supposed to be my friend.
We were, and then Haji happened.
Oh my God. She asked about Haji. Haji was not a referral to her. It was a referral to Mary. It was not a referral to you. You inquired. Oh, that jumpsuit is nice. Where did you get that?
Does that sound like something I would say? Does that sound?
How did Francis get involved?
Because she went with Rashida.
No, she went without me.
Okay. Well, Rashida told her. Rashida referred.
No. Oh,
Rashida
or
referred.
she saw it in the Facebook group.
Rashida
Or
referred.
she saw it in the Facebook group when you told 100 Black women to go to Haji.
Oh, Haji.
Any hoodle.
Rashida wasn't referred. She inquired.
How them shorts?
Them shorts is wonky, but that jumpsuit is nice. And I wore the outfit yesterday. Wasn't that cute, Katrina?
I would have not guessed.
She did. She was like, Haji made this. I'm like,
and the shirt has some detail.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah. Somebody else.
So I understand why you inquired, Rashida. It's okay. I understand why you inquired because that jumpsuit was nice. But
the last
baby, them shorts
made
were wonky, and your jumpsuit.
The worst part about it all was he tried to charge us more.
More for what?
He told us the price. I told me a price when I ordered it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to pick it up, wonky, didn't fit, not sewn well, terrible. I didn't say this last week. I'm gonna say this week. You were here. I think you were there when that man said like it didn't fit when it zipped up. When it zipped up, it was I couldn't breathe. It pulled me down. I was wearing a jumpsuit. This is off topic. If you were here for solo travel, it has been fun. Love you, mean it. If you got to go, I understand. But let me tell you about this jumpsuit. When it zipped all the way up to the top, it was like, I guess, short in the front, so it pulled me down like this. And so Haji's helper unzipped it, and he was like, is this better? And I was like, it's like an inch unzipped in the back. I was like, yes, it's better. Like this, I can stand up straight. And he was like, oh, I just wear it like this.
Who said that? Haji?
One of his helper people, one of the other guys sewing for him. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't. And Francis is there looking like, what's happening?
I wasn't there for that when he said that. I wasn't there for that. I
He
wasn't there for
said,
that.
just wear like the zipper. Now, sometimes your zipper is down an inch and then all of a sudden it's down 2 inches because some of these zippers don't be staying up the way they need to stay up. Your idea in this jumpsuit is that because you guys sewed it with the front shorter than the back panel, front panel shorter than the back panel, so it pulls me forward when it's zipped up. Your idea is for me to wear it unzipped.
Y'all, I don't know who made these clothes.
My mom ordered a jumpsuit. She ordered a jumpsuit, showed up, it was a dress.
I don't know what happened between the time. I'm looking at it.
And
I
then
don't know
he
what
tried to
happened
charge me
between the
more.
time my jumpsuit and pants were made and Mary's pants were made and the time that they got to the shop. I don't know what happened. And I did refer some people. Rashida was not one of them.
I don't know if you guys know how hard I worked on the Exodus Summit meetup. I wore my fingers to the bone.
I think Francis did a lot
typing.
of it.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Francis.
I wore my fingers out working hard. My mental health was in question from all the work I did. And she can't even acknowledge a referral. She can't even give a referral. She can't even acknowledge, she's not even willing to have a generosity of spirit of a referral.
Rashida said, "This is nice. Where'd you get this?"
It was nice. It was a nice lie, though.
What was the lie?
Haji made one nice thing.
He 2, 3. He made the shirt, the pants, my jumpsuit, and he made Mary's pants. Now, she did have to go back for another fitting, but he got them together.
Didn't she order like straight leg and he gave her like some bell bottoms?
But he fixed it.
But that's what I'm talking about.
But he was
My
able
mama
to fix
ordered a jumpsuit and she got a dress.
I am not defending that man because he had the audacity to tell me I could order something, he would send it to the States. I'm like, and then the 10 times I'm gonna need to bring it back to get it right. I don't know.
5 visits.
It was crazy.
Anyhow, we talked about this last week. We're probably gonna talk about it next week again. Haji has scarred me.
Me too.
I don't trust nobody. I can't be taking referrals from people because
oh my God, he messed me up too.
It's not good. It's not good. Listen, them shorts were so bad she left a pair behind.
I did. I can't even.
Paid for it, and then was like.
And I tried them on one more time before I left. I'm like, I don't want these. This is more of a headache than. How do you get one leg smaller than the other? I don't know.
Hem looking like. How long are these shorts? Who knows? Which leg? Which side?
So the moral of this story is be careful with tailors. Because all tailors are not created equal. Some people are just like somebody that could maybe hem your pants and then there's tailors out there.
The moral of the story is don't take recommendations from just anybody.
Right, Rashida, you shouldn't.
I should not.
You should not
take recommendations.
You should not.
From just anybody.
So therefore you should not go around asking people, where'd you get this? Because when they tell you, that's not a recommendation. Is it?
All right.
Is it, y'all? Is it a recommendation? What are the people saying?
The people are saying you're wrong, and Rashida's always right. It's right there in the chat.
They probably
It's
are.
right there. All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I hope this helped. If you have solo travel concerns, this helps. Watch it again in the future before your next trip, and don't go to Haji in
Don't go to
Cape
Haji.
Town.
I second that.
Nonsense.
Totally inconsistent.
Nonsense. All right. Bye, y'all. Till next time.
Bye.